Yet to be so distinguished from personal insecurity is the inevitable insecurity of not knowing all the answers to everything. This cosmic insecurity is the simple yet often far from easy recognition that we live in a universe which has many surprise buttons installed. Every day we press at least one of them. You don't like surprises? That, of course, is your choice, but it implies that you don't like life very much either. That great current of being, the mystery, the creator, appears by contrast to be quite fond of surprises. For God is the mind of self experience and self stimulation. God creates universes whose sole purpose is to excite and fascinate the mind, and that is the notorious why behind all things. But why would the mind behind the cosmos create such unpleasant situations? Well, it didn't or doesn't start out that way. God's purpose is to create only freedom of choice, but that freedom from God's will, the will of unity and love, draws individual beings into illusion. We may think, in other words, that we are exercising personal freedom when we decide to live outside of love. For a time, it can be exciting and stimulating, challenging and even momentarily fulfilling to do so. But the only thing created is karma. As mild as karma can be, it can easily grow into a great complicated mess, especially if our self image expands in earthly time to include many lives spanning centuries or even millennia. So the universes are created with any potential and with the unknown element of surprise. This latter is what tends to disturb our human minds or lower natures so much. The human mind feels personally insecure and so rejects cosmic insecurity. Incessantly we judge, we codify, classify, categorize endlessly. We allow nothing to be neutral, but we must interpret all things through our filters of past experience. So we judge everything in the process of making ourselves quite miserable. Actually, the entire universe is not only neutral but positively good if we decide that it can be so. But we are blinded by our vision. What we see convinces us that it is not so. We do not realize that what we see has little more validity than what we simply imagine. Most of our religious and political systems, in fact, have been developed to keep us feeling secure, to deny cosmic insecurity or surprise, to make the universe predictable. Yet they have failed miserably. Even the deity of economics cannot guarantee a moment of peace, and the other members of the human pantheon, false gods every one, also fail us. It is all because we have never come to terms with an open ended, anything is possible universe. From the viewpoints of your true self, your spirit, the mystery, the inner being, the love, nature, the mind of Tao, God, Allah of the Sufis, Jehovah of the Kabbalah, Sunyata, Manitao, the Great Spirit, things appear quite different. For your real self is no more fooled or taken in by the hologramic projective universe than you are by a movie or show on television. The reason we can watch and even thrill to the most hideous horror films in the end laughing at them is because we do not take them seriously. Joy is naturally realized whenever any situation is not taken seriously, yet most of us have been taken in by the hologramic show called our personal universes. We take them very seriously, indeed, as if in the end everything will greatly matter. Matter doesn't matter that much. God certainly wouldn't mind if you focus instead on your mind. It is in this cosmic insecurity that identity becomes crucial. Who do you think you are? Well, that is who you are in your personal reality. Even with those reservations, however, one should not become cynical, believing that nothing matters. Even though the now is relative reality, quickly passing, it remains forever. Even though matter doesn't matter in any ultimate sense, in the symbolic sense, which is all that really counts, every word, thought, action, and movement has immense importance. Paradox can be stated this way: the universe is symbolically important and genuinely sacred because it is the projection of the mystery. But the mystery is never dominated or controlled by his, her, slash its dreams. And when you have found, whoops, and when you have found the state of dynamic unification with him, her, it, then each moment will become precious yet insubstantial. The paradox goes deeply into the psyche. It calls upon us to live in impeccable honor, as if everything we do, say, or think is the only reality, and yet to recognize the transience and ultimate relativity of it all. To take all things seriously, but none of it too seriously, is to know the crucial importance of the relative without losing sight of the absolute. This was an inspired reading. The Universal Way of Love by Richard Shining Thunder Francis. And yeah, this was an intuitive enterprising with Nolan Gustine Priest. I love truth.